I always thought that when love shatters, it makes a noise, something sharp, undeniable. But for me, it was silent, quiet, like autumn leaves drifting down slowly and unnoticed until one day the trees stand bare, and you're left wondering when everything vanished. I met Claire 6 years ago. She had a magnetic pull, not just in her beauty, although yes, she was stunning, but in the way she could light up a room simply by stepping inside. Back then, I worked in finance. Long hours, an empty apartment, dinners from the microwave. She brought color to a life that had only known shades of gray. We moved quickly. Love tends to fool you like that. Within a year, we were married. I truly believed I had hit the jackpot. At first, everything felt like a dream. Shared dinners, weekend escapes, inside jokes that only made sense to us. She'd say things like, "You're the only one who truly sees me." And I believed her. Why wouldn't I? But true love doesn't die suddenly. It fades slowly, starving when honesty disappears from the table. The signs were small and easy to ignore at first. Her phone never left her side. She started staying late at work more often, even though her job didn't require it. She grew guarded, secretive, and the laughter that once came so naturally between us began to feel forced, as if we were actors in a play we no longer wanted to perform. Still, I wanted to believe we were just going through a rough patch. Every marriage has them, right? I gave her room. I asked gently when she seemed distant. She'd smile and say she was just tired or stressed. And I believed her, because accepting the truth was harder than holding on to her words. Then came the lie that shattered everything. One Friday, she said she was flying to Chicago for a work seminar. Something about it didn't feel right, but I stayed silent. Trust, I told myself. That night, I got a call from my friend Jordan. He had spotted her at a bar downtown, not in Chicago, not with colleagues, but with some other man. Hands too familiar, smiles too close. I didn't confront her. Not that night, not the next day. Instead, I waited and watched. She returned Sunday evening, suitcase in hand, wearing the same necklace I gave her on our second anniversary. She kissed me hello like nothing was wrong. That was the hardest part, not the cheating, but how effortlessly she pretended. I made dinner that night, set the table as usual, and tried to eat around the knot tightening in my stomach. She talked about the seminar as if it had really happened, fabricating details, names, jokes, laughing and lying. That's when I realized this wasn't a one-time mistake. It was a pattern, and I was just a placeholder in her story. I didn't yell. I didn't accuse. I didn't even shed a tear. I made my plan. Over the following week, I found a furnished studio apartment on the other side of town, signed the lease, and opened a new bank account in my name alone. Bit by bit, I gathered the essentials, important papers, clothes, mementos, and moved them quietly while she was still working late into the night. One morning, I brewed coffee, poured a cup for her, and left a note on the kitchen table. It simply said, "I know. I'm done. Please don't try to contact me." I placed my key next to the letter, walked out the door, and didn't look back once. She never saw it coming. That I'm certain of. Claire liked to be in control. She expected confrontation, drama. But I offered only silence. And I've come to realize that silence can sometimes speak louder than any outburst ever could. The first week was disorienting. I slept on a mattress on the floor, lived on takeout, and sat alone with my thoughts, endlessly replaying everything in my mind. But gradually, it began to feel like I was breathing again. No more pretending. No more staying awake waiting. No more doubting myself inside my own home. Months went by. At first, she tried to reach out. I changed my number. She sent an email once. I deleted it without reading. I blocked her on every platform. I wasn't looking for explanations or closure. I just wanted peace. And for a while, I found it. Until 6 months later. I was coming home from work, arms full of groceries, when I saw her standing outside my apartment. Rain drenched her coat, her eyes red and makeup smeared. She didn't look like the Claire I once knew. She seemed lost. "I just want to talk," she said. I didn't respond, just unlocked the door. "Please," she added. "Just 5 minutes." Against my better judgment, I let her in. She stepped inside like it pained her, scanning the small space as if trying to picture herself living there. "I messed everything up," she said, tears already streaming down. "I thought I wanted freedom. I thought I could have it all. But I lost the only thing that ever mattered." I stayed silent. "I ended it," she continued. "It wasn't worth it. He wasn't worth it. I've been trying to reach you for months." I nodded slowly. "Why now?" I asked. She looked at me, really looked, and said, "Because I thought you'd come back. I thought you'd forgive me. You always did. But this time, you just vanished." That moment made me see what I had truly lost. There was a time when hearing those words would have shattered me, made me believe again, pulled me back into her world. But not anymore. "You didn't lose me when you lied," I said quietly. "You lost me when you assumed I'd stay." Her crying grew harder. She said she understood. She was sorry. She'd do anything to make it right. But some things can't be fixed. Some fractures remain forever cracked. When she finally left, I sat alone in the quiet I once dreaded. But this time, it didn't feel hollow. It felt real. That's when I realized I didn't need her apology. I didn't need closure, because I had already found something far better.